Hello and welcome back to the When You're Podcast, the podcast for when you're doing anything. Today we're talking about when you're missing the airport. So guys, I'm gonna keep it real. I really miss the airport. I think I just miss traveling in general because ever since I came back from my New York trip, I feel like, I don't know, I kind of miss the whole showing up to the airport, waiting for the airplane, getting on the airplane, landing at another airport, and then from there going to a new destination. I feel like that's just me. You know, I enjoy that experience. I enjoy flying. I enjoy going on I enjoy going to the airport. I like the whole thing about it. And I'm sure other people do too. I don't know. But for me, myself and I just find it a lot more not, I just I like the process. I like going to a place where everybody's kind of like really on the go all the time. Cuz it's not like maybe like a train station or, or a bus, how like they take you on the bus and stuff, like across the country and stuff like that. It's not like that. It's more of like it's the only one stop location where you get on a plane, so to speak. I guess that's the same for like train stations where it's like there's one train and you hop on it from a train station. But like with the train, I guess like the way that the train works is like you get on it and then it makes multiple stops, whereas like if you get on a plane, it also makes multiple stops, but it lands at an airport. Whereas like I guess that's the same for the train. You get on the train and it stops at a train stop. I don't know. I think I really enjoy like the one stop place for airplanes. So like I enjoy a place that's like specifically designed for the plane to fly. So something like that. So there's like one building. Not one. But can you understand what I'm trying to say here? Is like there's one space, there's one time, there's one possible area where they allow the planes to like cross paths with each other. They meet. There's like a one-stop hub at this airport where you get to see like all of these. You get to see all of these planes, all of these things like kind of cross one another. They go through so much just to figure out like, okay, so this plane is coming in, we have to make room, we have to figure out like where they're going to land exactly, and then once they figure that out, they have to be like, okay, so then like in 2 seconds later, we have to send another airplane off the other side or to another space or immediately after, so that way, we can get the next plane off the ground. So it's like a huge working place that's always on the move. So there's also a lot of road space. They have that open place of concrete where it's just completely flat, just so that these airplanes can have a solid place to go. It reminds me of like the movie. It reminds me of the Fast and Furious movie where they're on the airport, road, and it just keeps going on forever. Like that's so funny. Like that's hilarious to think about. But I enjoy like that big open space because it makes it look like they could go on forever. I don't know what it is. Like imagine being out there and getting to like Tokyo Drift. Like that's cool. There's something about that. And when you're inside the airport and you're looking on the outside, it just feels like, oh my gosh, there's a warehouse where they keep like maybe the planes, and there's like multiple planes all lined up, and then you see the cars and the people out there doing their job, obviously, and they're just like, I don't know. I really like that whole kind of thing there. They have those windows, and like you can look at the weather. You can be like prepared. You can see like planes arrive. Well, not planes arriving, but you get to see them like kind of driving, and then pulling up, and whatnot. I really enjoy that. I think there's definitely something about that. I just like planes. I think I just like looking at them. I think I enjoy the experience of the airport a lot more. And specifically like maybe probably no, I think it might be with all planes and stuff, cuz I was thinking to myself like if it was like a small airport, like you know how they give you like little tours on like those, you know, the one where like the propellers on the front, you know, those planes with the propellers on the front of the plane, and it like spins, and it, you know, kind of like a old-timey traditional airplane, you know what I'm saying, and it takes off. I was thinking, I was like, would I be as excited to go on that as another one? And probably yeah. But they usually fly those in like small airports or like small little areas where like people can what's the word? I feel like they could get their experience without having to worry about like a whole passenger of people that they have to like fly to a specific spot. Because like you don't just go from no flight experience to like a huge, or maybe you do, to like a huge commercial airplane. I would think that like for some people, at least, you know, I see mostly people like flying the small planes first, and then maybe from there they upgrade. Maybe from there they're like, okay, now I want to get a pilot's license for this other plane instead of this one, so that way I can really, you know, fly people around and go to different places. I don't know. It's something like that. But I do miss the airport. I miss kind of like the I don't want to say like the adrenaline rush, but I do want to say it's kind of like what's the best way I can really explain it? The best way I can really put it. So the airport is kind of like waiting to go on a roller coaster. Like there's that kind of anticipation, that feeling of like, ooh, something big's about to go down. And we all know it. But we kind of somehow have normalized being on this airplane, you know? Because obviously the roller coaster, it's on the ground, but it lifts you up, it takes you down, it does spins, it does loop-de-loops, it does the whole thing, right? But on the airplane, I guess the airplane is a lot safer and a lot less like gut-wrenching, or maybe it is. Some people are afraid of flying. I mean, I shouldn't say that. All I'm trying to say is that like I enjoy the idea of the airport because it's more of like a one-stop place where, you know, people are coming and going, and there's always there's kind of like the next stop. There's kind of like the next, you know, place where you know everybody's there for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's maybe to get out or to find it's either to get out or they're trying to go somewhere, and because they got something going on that day or that, you know, that week or however long they intend to stay wherever they land or wherever they depart. But it's like accommodating. It's got like some seating, but it's not like amazing seating so that you stay. It's so that obviously you can leave. And you know what? It kind of reminds. I think I got my love for my kind of like respect for, or like place for airports when I saw this movie called The Terminal. If you don't know the movie Terminal, click off now. This is a spoiler alert. Not that I'm really going to talk about the movie, but like if you've ever seen that movie, go watch it. But like that movie really showed me that, like, oh my gosh, I really enjoy the airport. I just like that movie. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but that kind of like made me a big fan of airports. Anyways, I like airports because they got like the convenient. They have those stores. They got those stores where it's like they got everything for your travel. So that they make it so if you don't have certain stuff, you can buy it right there and you can take it on the plane with you. It's for your convenience. So the number one thing that they have there are the electronic stores. And not electronics in the sense of like I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I know for a fact that they should have like an Apple store at the airport just so that they can sell like phones or like laptops or iPads and whatnot. And the truth is that there's no legit Apple store there, but they do have like authorized resellers who are like allowed to like resell you kind of things that they maybe bought for maybe for like a given price, and then like maybe they increase the price because it's really they have to, because in order to for them to make a profit they have to sell it back at twice the whatever they paid for it. And then because there's no reason for you to like really get a phone at the airport, right? Like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense for employees to be working at a 24-hour airport. So and the place was closed. The reseller like kind of like shack was closed. So they're not reselling like a huge amount of iPhones or iPads. It's maybe like once every blue moon when somebody's phone breaks maybe on the flight from like a baby throwing up on it, or they spill like water on their laptop or whatnot. They go over to the spot and they're just like, hey man, I need a new laptop. And they're like, all right, it's going to be double what it's usually cost, but it is convenient. You can't get a new laptop here. So I feel like that's how it works, which I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's definitely there. It's a possibility. They also have all of the, I don't know, it's not like it's like not a snack store. What am I trying to say? It's just like a regular, it feels like a gas station is what I'm trying to get at here. Is it feels like they have like a whole bunch of stuff in there, but it's all, it's all targeted towards a specific audience. So like, imagine you go to, I don't know, let's say Paris, right? You go to Paris and then like at the gas station or like when you arrive at Paris, and then immediately as you land, you like walk past some little airport shops, and they have like Paris t-shirts and snow globes, and they have Paris little mugs and cups. And because of that, it feels more of like a gas station than it does like actual like grocery store. But they do have like water, snacks, they have like fruit, they have sandwiches, they have it's just it feels very like they want you to like kind of hang out or like get like a bunch of stuff. They have a lot of variety. They have a lot of options for you. And that's and I like that. I do enjoy that. I feel like it's kind of funny that they offer all of that stuff and I don't accept any of it. The only thing I really took on my trip was water. But yeah, they have like all kinds of chips and snacks and variety so that way you can enjoy it. But like they also sell clothing and they sell like shoes and slippers and whatnot. And then they have restaurants. So imagine going to like, I don't know, let's say you go to Singapore and then you land at their airport, and then immediately you're like, you know what do I want to do? I want like some coffee, and they have like a Starbucks there. They have like, or you maybe like, you know what? Let's try the airport food, which is like maybe not the best idea, but like you just landed and you're really hungry, and you're like, let's try the, you know, whatever they got here in Singapore. Let's see if it's like any authentic food brand, which it probably isn't. It's probably like McDonald's there at the airport, just mainly because it's familiar to locals, and everybody can like appreciate that kind of thing. But like what I'm talking about here is the reason why I like the airport is because it feels like a community where like you can just kind of walk around, and you can get like a whole bunch of, you could basically live a whole 24 hours there, and gain a new sense of culture, maybe. I don't know. They also have these sick vending machines. So the vending machines are really cool at the airport. I mean, they're cool in like hotels and other places as well, but like specifically at the airport. Because at the airport they kind of make the most sense to me. So they have like this CVS pharmacy vending machine, right? And in there they have all kinds of drugs. And by drugs I mean like they have like Tylenol for headache relief. They have like maybe certain pills to help you with like not pooping on the plane. I forget what those called. Those are called, but like they have those certain ones. They have ones where it's like, obviously they have laxatives to help you use the bathroom before maybe your flight. They have another, you know, they just have like all of the basic allergy stuff. So they put that all there, and I was like, that's a genius idea, because like if you go on your plane and you know you get like lightheaded or headaches, you can take like a headache relief pain medicine and you'll be fine. Or if you land and you feel pretty sick and you need a little something, just a little pick me up, you can actually go to the vending machine and they'll buy something from there to kind of help you out, you know, which I think is great. So it really, you know, they got like a whole system there. It's like if you're hungry, go get some snacks, go get a sandwich, go get some chips, a water maybe. While you're at it, go get some new clothes. How about that new t-shirt from wherever it is that, you know, like I said, that new Paris t-shirt. You just landed, get that new Paris t-shirt before you really hit the city, and then get it like a hoodie, maybe some sweatpants, maybe get like a book or two, because you have to like to take the trip to your hotel, and then from there, you know what I'm talking about? It just feels like everything's right there. Very, very convenient. And I enjoyed that a lot. So, aside from the medicine vending machines, they also have like makeup vending machines. Because I saw like they have like those what's it called? Like those lip kits or whatever. You know, the things for like. Anyways, they have like these makeup vending machines there, and I was kind of like, okay, maybe you couldn't fly with your makeup or like your big thing. This is probably like a quick space where you can like probably find your like shade or your color. You could probably find like, oh, this is where I don't know when I'm gonna be able to find like a makeup store in Paris or whatever. So super convenient, super easy. You walk off of your plane, you're just like, you know what, let me actually get that you know, that makeup kit or whatever, which I think is a good idea. Maybe, I don't know. Or okay, what about this scenario? So you land from the airport, or yeah, you land from the airport, and at this other airport they have the makeup kit, right? You land, and immediately after the you land at the airport, you have to get on a car, and then from the car you have to go to like an office meeting or whatnot, right? And you have to look like a little presentable. You have to like look a little good, so you don't want to go in there like all barefaced and maybe you're just like I should really do my makeup, but I couldn't bring any, or I forgot them. So then you pull up to the vending machine and you're like, all my problems are solved. Now I can like put a little bit of something on me so that way it looks like a little natural, a little nice, a little cool. And I think that's the idea is like if you need it, get it. I guess that's with all stuff, but I'm just saying like you land in Paris, you don't know when you're gonna pop off to, Sephora or one of those makeup spots. You don't know when like where the closest one is. Whereas like those vending machines, they give you like the full treatment right then and there. They give you everything like a basic makeup kit or whatever it is that you're looking for, and it helps you out a bit. And of course, they have the snacks, the snack vending machines with like water and cans and like soda. They also have like candy bars, stuff like that. But you could really just go to the store. You don't have to get it from the vending machine. And they also have electronic vending machines. So everything that the stores have, they also kind of have like in like a smaller way, but in the vending machine. So if you need like headphones, bro, they got the headphones right there in the vending machine. And I thought that was so funny. I was just like, what's really stopping people from breaking it and taking those headphones? But like obviously they get in trouble. There's glass everywhere. So I was kind of thinking to myself like, what if like you go in there to get like a wire or like let's just say the headphones again, right? And it gets stuck. Like what do there's it's not like the snacks where it's like you can kind of like tip it over. If you mess with this one, there's like electronic things in there that like you might not be able to fix if you completely destroy this vending machine. So I don't know. I find it a little bit odd that they put electronics in the vending machine like that. But again, it's only for like, oh, you need something quick. Put the dollar in. It'll drop down, and that's the end of it. So I do like that the vending machine idea at the airport. I think it's brilliant. So another reason why I miss the airport. I also just kind of like the feeling, the kind of the traveling airport aesthetic of it all, type of feel. I don't know. There's something about the airport. It feels like an office, but not. It feels like a big. It's like a big warehouse, but nobody stays there for any guaranteed amount of time except for like people who work there. So I like it the most because first of all, it's like this clean space, and it's like well, the airports I went to are pretty clean. They try to keep it cleanly. I don't know if there's like a terrible like dirt filled like disgusting airport. And maybe the bathrooms are mainly the case with that, but like anyways, they're just like clean. They feel like they're kind of like a museum in the sense that like they have like sort of stairs, escalators. Like those flat escalators that just move. Like what other like places doing stuff like that? Except for the airports. Like that's such an airport move. But all I'm trying to get at here, all I'm trying to really say at the end of the day, is I like it because it's clean and it feels like everything there is like a cog in a machine of like it's like a cog in a clock. You know what I mean? where it's like everything has to work together to not mess up. So everything has to flow. So if something doesn't work at the airport, like say like the escalator thing, right? You just obviously walk, but they have to have somebody there to fix the escalator. Does that make sense? Like there's always something like, oh, this doesn't work. All right, we're gonna get the guy to come and fix it. And then once that's fixed, everything will be as right as rain. Oh, there's like a problem with this or a problem with that. Like we have everybody there with the tools to fix it because it's an airport, and you know what it is. You really want to know what it is I like about the airport. Why I miss it. It's one is because I miss traveling. It's two is the airplanes, but like there's also because it's kind of like a community office. It's like kind of like everybody goes there, they have to be there, and some people are working, some people are like there to relax and they're waiting for their plane or whatnot. But it feels like a community office space. That's what it is. It's kind of like a big, wide office space with like a huge parking lot and like a huge like open road. I don't know, there's something about it I really enjoy. And it's also like if you go there late at night, it has like that certain foggy feel to it, and you're just kind of like a little bit groggy, but you're also kind of like, okay, this is fun. Or like you're kind of just like, and again, it's as if you were going late at night. So let's say like late at night, let's say like 2 a.m., right? You go to the airport at 2 a.m., whatever. And you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to, you're waiting there and it's all foggy and it's cool and it's crisp. It just feels like a nice night or whatever, right? And then immediately during that time, you get on a roller coaster and it takes off. Like, isn't that nuts? There's a reason why there's no late night kind of roller coaster amusement park, because it's nuts. They're out of their mind. Even though they do open, they do stay open pretty late. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. All I'm trying to say is that like I like the feeling of like if you show up at the airport like really early in the morning or very late at night, like in that sweet spot. Then there's this like that certain like foggy feel about the place that I really enjoy. That I like about driving as well, because it feels like the roads are completely empty. They're clear just for me. It's foggy. The street lamps are like are down. I really like that kind of look, and that's why I like the airport. And like I was saying, it's just the build up, the anticipation to getting on the airplane. Some people, it's like they travel all the time, so it's like not as big a deal. And sometimes the waiting is a lot more like of a hassle, because they're just like, oh, we got delayed, or like, oh my goodness, we have to wait for this, or things aren't going as planned, or whatever, right? But for me, there's something about the waiting part that I really like, because then you're just at your terminal and then you see like everybody who you're going to be on the plane with. And you're just kind of like, all right, like that's a family of 4. And you're just kind of like, those guys are probably going on a trip. You know what I mean? Like you put little stories together in your head. So, and there's also like so much going on in that time while you're waiting in like anticipation to get on your plane. So there are people arriving. Here's what's happened, right? You show up at the airport and you get there, right? And then you have to get your tickets. And then once you get your tickets, you have to go through security. Once you get through security, you have to get to this other step. And that's where the fun part is. After you get through security, that's where it really gets fun, because then after that, you get to go to the snacks and the electronics and the kind of like neck pillow stores or whatnot, like the comfort spaces, so that way you can sleep well on your plane, stuff like that. So I enjoy that. I enjoyed that whole experience. I like going to the airport. I like going on airplanes and stuff like that. And then other people who travel often are just kind of like, gosh, I hate being on the airplane. I don't, it's become routine for them. But for me, I like it because there's what's it called? There's kind of no pressure during that time, right? Like, there's nothing you can do but take that flight, take that nap. You can take a nap on the flight. You can watch a movie. You can get like free snacks. You can get like a water. Like it's all there for you. The real problem are all the other people on the flight. But efficiency, and this way other people get where they need to go as well, just the same as you do. But anyways, the people are also pretty cool. I mean, I didn't have anything go wrong for me. Everybody just kind of keeps to themselves, which is important. But I was saying, I kind of like put a whole story, like a whole background to certain people to pass the time. So I'll see like an old man, and I'll be like, ooh, he's probably going back to his wife back at home, who's like battling cancer, and he like really loves her, and they're going through it together, but like he has to go on this flight so that way he can go see her again, because he had to come back because he has his son out here, and he wanted to support him for his birthday or whatever, and she couldn't fly, or she didn't like, I mean, something like that, you know what I mean? Like she's currently in the middle of her cancer battle, so she can't just pop up on a plane and hop by, but he can, and maybe like he needed a little bit of joy or levity to like the difficult situation that they're in, you know what I mean? So something like that, like giving them backstories. And for some reason, I wish it was like somewhat appropriate to connect with the people you were going on the flight with, because then like you would have like a friend on the flight maybe, or at least you could be like have like some people to like kind of get along with, instead of feeling like a bunch of strangers just staring at you. But at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of funny to think about like going up to people before your flight and just being like, hey, we're all going to the same place. Why don't you, like, imagine if I went to somebody and was like, hey guys, I know we're about to go on this flight and everything, but I have a podcast called the When You're Podcast. You probably heard of it. It's like a huge deal. You should definitely listen to it while you're on your flight. You know what I mean? And I'm the host. I'm the guy who's talking in your ear and on the flight. Like, isn't that that's weird? Like that would be definitely weird, right? So I think the way that it worked, or the way that I did it while I was on my flight, or when I got at the airport, was just to like obviously keep to yourself. Don't talk to anybody. Just be respectful and just enjoy the flight. Otherwise, you come off as annoying, and it's just like nobody wants that. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to talk to you. I don't know why I felt like I could have that kind of like special treatment. I just wish that like sometimes it was a little bit more acceptable to talk to people and just make quick friends like that. Because we're all going to be stuck in the airplane, right? But for the most part, I guess everybody just wants to go to sleep or hang out. I don't know. But this is like my final reason about why I really like the airport, is because it's a continuous process. It's a process. And it's a process that they have fully mastered, right? So you don't know how to play chess, but they know exactly how to play they know all the rules, they know all the styles, they know every which combination that you can make, and there's a bunch of combinations you can make. There's a bunch of different moves and like variety and all that. They know it all. They've been through it all. They're aware. And because it's a continuous process, it's a ever learning situation. So like that's such a cool job to be at, because if you mess up on like, let's say like, oh snap, I was a little late for this, or like I messed up on packing this bag, or let's say like you let's say you just mess up on the not something like the pilot messing up on flying the plane, nothing like that, but just kind of like very small stuff like, oh snap, I accidentally threw the bag, the luggage a little too hard, stuff something like that maybe. Then you learn from it, and then you pick it up on the next one. Like the next flight's coming. Oh, then the next flight's coming. Oh, then so the process is over and over and over again. They give you the chance to redeem yourself, because after that flight takes off, there's another one that's landing, and then you have to learn that one, and then so on and so forth. So I like the process of the airport. I like the process of like you have to pick up the pace because you're a little bit late and you have to get there. You have to get to where you're going early, or there's just all kinds of like pieces to put into the puzzle that just have to fit, and that I really like. I don't know. It's learning. It's people. There's You could walk by somebody at the airport and have no idea that they're like visiting America for the first time, or like maybe they're like they have family over here and they're going to like surprise them, or stuff like that. Which is why like I like those videos where people show up at the airport and they like hug and they're just like, oh my gosh, I missed you. Or they're like, yes. Oh, there was a video of like these two kids who got adopted by this family, and I think they got like separated, but then they reunited at the airport, and they just had like this big family hug, and it was so beautiful to see. And that's at the airport, moments like that. They don't happen in any other places, because the airport is like the go-to family connection. You land and then you connect, right? So I feel like that's what it's all about. And it's also a place of like just patience. You have to have patience. You have to wait, and then once you wait, you have to wait some more, and then once you wait there, then you can finally like take action and go, right? Because if you're like, I want to get on a plane tonight, well, you have to wait according to their timetable and whenever they're leaving the plane, and like if the weather over there is appropriate. So like there's a whole list of stuff that you have to like go through before you can actually like, let's say you can actually be what's it called? Before you can really take off on the airplane, there's a certain degree of patience you have to have. And I'm cool with it, you know what I mean? But other people may not like it. They kind of want to just go. So as soon as they show up at the airport, they want to get on the plane, and then from the plane, they want it to take off right away. But other people, such as myself, you get to the airport, and it's like maybe an hour of waiting, and then maybe a delay or two, and then after that, then you can board your plane. And then, even then, you're not in like boarding group 1, you're in boarding group 4, so you have to wait for all the other 3 to go onto the plane, and then you can go. So, it's a process, but I do enjoy it. I do like it to a certain degree. So, yeah, anyways, at the end of the day, when you're missing the airport, just maybe go by your regular gas station, get some snacks, buy some new electronics, like cheap ones, I guess. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you're missing the airport, like myself, I think it's really just like you missing traveling, and you're missing like the whole feeling of like, I get to go somewhere, or like something's happening right now where it's like can't be done anywhere else. There's no other feeling like it, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel, and I do miss the airport. It baffles me how like there's no people don't come out with like their stories about like how more and more stories don't get told about like things going on at the airport, But anyways, That's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. It means so much for you, to me when you watch and subscribe on the YouTube channel. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for listening here on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. It means the most. It really, to see like kind of like the viewership grow is a lot of fun, and it just kind of like makes me feel like, ooh, people are like listening, and then it also makes me feel like, ooh, people are listening. Like, you have to do well. So anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I do miss the airport. I do want to travel more, but we're gonna have to be patient, I guess, and figure out what my next trip will be. So yeah. And it does feel like a community office. I can't describe it, but it's like, it's the perfect setting for like working, but it's also like a good place to just lounge about and just chill while you wait for your flight. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Thank you. Thank you.